Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's program, Acupuncture and Older Adults, featuring our guest, Orna Amrani with Spirit Light Acupuncture. My name's Angelique Jackson, and I'm the Manager of Business Development and Marketing at Charles E. Smith Life Communities. Our organization is dedicated to providing personalized care and experiences that are tailored to the unique needs of older adults, no matter what stages of life they may be in. We offer a full range of services, including independent living, assisted living, memory care, post-acute and long-term care, as well as primary care services at our Hirsch Health Center. If you are interested in learning more about our residences and services, please feel free to visit our website or contact our Welcome Center to schedule a tour. And you will find the contact information in the chat section. A few reminders before we begin today's program. We want to hear from you, so please make sure to add your questions to the chat. Be mindful and make sure that you stay muted throughout the program. We will also be recording the program today, and the recorded version will be uploaded on our resource page and on our YouTube channel. Again, you will find those links in the chat. This program qualifies for one Category 1 continuing education unit for social workers. So if you are a social worker and would like a certificate after attending this program, please email Rochelle Furneaux. You will find her email address in the chat, and allow us 7 to 10 days to email your certificate. We appreciate your patience. It's also important to mention that the name that you would like to appear on your certificate must match the name you use to register for the event and the name you use to log on to attend this event. Also, you must stay for the entire duration of the program to receive credit. Now, I would like to welcome our guest today, Orna Amrani. Orna obtained her master's degree in acupuncture from the University of Maryland School for Integrative Health. Orna firmly believes that the body can heal itself and that acupuncture can stimulate this healing process. With its roots in traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture has been used for over 3,000 years. It is a natural and safe method that effectively promotes overall health and well-being. Orna, welcome, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Angelique, for introducing me. And hello, everybody. Thank you. I'm very happy to be here. Just share the screen. Okay, I hope you can see the screen. Again, hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, I'm going to talk about acupuncture and its benefits. I am a licensed acupuncturist, but before I start, I would like to talk a little bit about myself, introduce a little bit. I was a medical doctor in Israel. I studied medicine in the Technion many years ago. And after that, I was a surgeon for a few years. I did residency in surgery. And I worked so many hours in days and nights in a hospital, and my family was very worried that I'll never get married. So they introduced me to my husband, Eric, who lives here. And I moved here about 16 years ago. And now I am a licensed acupuncturist. as Angelique introduced me, I studied acupuncture at the MUIH, the Maryland University of Integrative Health. And I love to treat older adults. That's my favorite niche. And there are many reasons why that's my favorite. First, one of the first reasons is that I loved my grandparents very, very much. And I wish that I had the knowledge I had today to treat them with acupuncture. And I wish I could have just a few more years spending with my grandparents. And I love my parents very much. And my parents now are in their 80s and they have all kinds of diseases. But each time I see them, I treat them every day and I see how it benefits them and it helps them to feel much better. Another reason that I like to treat older adults is because of my background in surgery and Western medicine. So I think if I compare myself to other acupuncturists who don't have that background, it's harder for them, especially with, the people that have a lot of a few diseases that I think I have a better understanding. And it's easier for me to combine the knowledge of Western medicine with the Eastern medicine. Another reason, I have many reasons, but I'll say only one more reason that I love to treat older adults is because there are studies that show that people that reach to their 80s, mid 80s, even late 80s, and they are in a good condition and pretty much independent, they have statistically, they can live average of 7-8 more years. So that's very reassuring. So I'm very happy to help you to live those 7 more years and feel better and healthier, and even more than that. So we'll start. Acupuncture is a form, as Angelique started to say, it's a form of Chinese medicine that is practiced more than 2,000 or even 3,000 years. It promotes natural healing, and it's very safe and effective way to support health and well-being. I know that unfortunately, many people think that, it's a voodoo medicine, especially that we're used to have, I think, 200 years about Western medicine been around. I think the first hospital in the United States was about 250 years ago in Philadelphia. So that's as much as Western medicine goes back, like about 200 years approximately. And acupuncture goes more than 2,000, even 3,000 years back. And still today, people feel, it's a voodoo medicine. So they are actually in the NIH, if you see here in in the slide, the NIH they do a lot of studies. I think in the past at least 20 years, thousands of studies. If you can even go online and Google it, there are thousands, even 10 of thousands of studies about how effective acupuncture is. And also that's a new study, relatively new, from 2021 from Harvard Medical School that shows that acupuncture is not only effective, they also start to find how it works, how it's actually scientifically work. Okay, now we start to talk about the benefits, some of the benefits of acupuncture. So one benefit is that acupuncture can help very much with the joint pains, any joint, from shoulders, tennis elbows, wrist. Like I had a wrist pain, a really bad one. I don't know what happened. And I couldn't move my wrist, and my acupuncturist really helped me. So now I can move it. And last week I helped a couple of patients with knee pains, ankle pain, and even hips pain. So it can be very helpful to alleviate some pains and restore some motions. Another benefit is back pain. Acupuncture can really help with the back pain. It's not instead of going to see your orthopedic or chiropractor, but it's a very effective way to add another modality. And sometimes it helps. Sometimes I see people with back pain that they already saw a few orthopedic surgeons and chiropractors and got some cortisone shots and nothing helped. And some people come to see me before they have to go and take a surgery. And I had some miracles with that, and that it really helped. I had one patient that he came to see me before. He still thinks that it's a voodoo, but he came to see me 1 week before surgery, and it was a miracle. He still doesn't believe it. Another benefit is acupuncture can help with headaches, including migraine headache. Yesterday, I treated a patient that is around in his 40s that has migraine headaches every week. He knows, and he takes medications, migraine medications, and he knows once a week he gets it. So he waits for it. And after 2 treatments, usually it takes more, but luckily, after 2 treatments, there was 1 week he didn't get it, and he was waiting for it. He was waiting to get the migraine, and last week he didn't get it. So I told him, but we should still work on it. Acupuncture can also help with allergies. It can relieve some symptoms like nasal congestion. There are some very good points around the sinuses and the nose that can really open it up, and you can feel much better. Acupuncture can also be very good to help with the gastrointestinal symptoms like abdominal pain, nausea, heartburn, bloating, constipation, and even with more complicated problems like IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and more. It can really help with that. Stress. My beloved grandmother always used to say, she had a quote that she invented. She said, all sickness are results from stress and unhappiness. And I remember when I went to medical school, it was the same in the Technion, it was in Haifa. I don't know how many people are familiar with that city in Israel. And many times when I had my finals, I stayed with my grandparents because they took care of me and pampered me. And my grandmother used to laugh. She said, you study medicine, but I know that all the causes to medicine, to sickness, it's because of stress and unhappiness. So I wish I could tell her, Grandma, you were right. It's really, you're really right. Now, there are many studies that actually prove it. And even I read a study that shows that up to 90% of diseases are because of stress. Acupuncture is also very good to help with anxiety and depression. And I have a story to share. When I was a young surgeon in a hospital, in a big hospital, one day I was in a pre-op clinic. I did pre-op and I had to prepare many people to go through a big surgery. And usually the big surgeries were because of cancer or other terrible diseases. And some patients opened up and shared with me that they knew exactly when they became sick and why they became sick. And usually it was because of a very big emotional crisis, like losing somebody they really love, or losing a job, or other emotional crises. And as a young doctor, especially as a surgeon, that, we operate the body, I realized that our emotional body is connected to our physical body. But in Western medicine, we don't acknowledge that. And when I went to see my attending doctors, and I told them, this guy who's going to do this big surgery is really, depressed, or really so the only answer was get him a consultant of a psychiatrist. That was the way to deal with that. So I really said, unfortunately, Western medicine doesn't acknowledge this connection and this wholeness of the body. Acupuncture is also very good to treat insomnia. And that's it. That's a big benefit that acupuncture has, since it really helps to alleviate many aches and pains. Then we need less painkillers. And we know painkillers, they can be very helpful, but they also have side effects like many other medications. And if we can help in a very natural and safe way with acupuncture to reduce the pain, then it's a win-win situation. And so we can take less painkillers. We also know as we age, we take many medications. And each medication has side effects and also counter interactions between medication. And painkillers also sometimes not very safe, especially when we get older. Like, for example, I give an example of ibuprofen, that it's from the family of the NSAIDs, the non-steroidal agents. And we know that that kind of the non-steroidals, they hurt sometimes. They hurt the stomach. And as we age, many people take aspirin, which also might irritate the stomach. And over 60, people are more prone. It doesn't mean that everybody, of course, but there's more like a higher risk to bleed from the stomach, from ulcers or gastritis. So taking more meds that might cause bleeding from the stomach is not a good thing. So even in that point, acupuncture can help, because we just promote the healing of the body. Another benefit that acupuncture can help, it's a better circulation. Acupuncture, and it was proven scientifically, can dilate constricted blood vessels, and that's how it can promote a better blood flow to the area. And when I was a surgeon, we always said, there was like a quote, that wherever in the body that we have a better blood supply, there is a better healing. Another benefit is a better immunity, a better immune system. So acupuncture can help to boost up the immune system. Thus, it can prevent some diseases like cold, like flu, shingles to erupt again, maybe some long COVID symptoms as well. And I helped a few people with long COVID symptoms, and it was pretty successful. Some of them were pretty successful. Another general benefit is acupuncture can release endorphins. And not only endorphins, that we know that many people get it when they do sports and they running, it releases endorphins. Also, acupuncture can release that. And also other feel-good hormones like dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and other hormones. And these hormones, they help the body to heal itself, and it also helps feel good and happier, and also feel well-being. Like the serotonin is the happy hormone. So now we talk a little bit of how does the acupuncture work? How does it work? So by inserting a small, tiny needle, I can show you here. I hope you can see it. It's hard to see the needle. I'll just take the needle because it's very thin. I hope you can see it. It's very thin. It's small. Only this part. This part, it's very tiny. So it doesn't hurt. It doesn't even hurt. It's not like a shot or a blood drawn. It's much, much smaller and doesn't hurt. I put that tiny needle in a specific acupuncture point. There are like around 400 points in the body that we studied for took us like 4 years to study all of them. And applying that, it stimulates channels of energy in the body. And those channels are known as meridians. These meridians are energy channels that flow in our body. It's just like internet or Wi-Fi that is inside our body. We don't see it, but we feel it. It's energy. There are 12 primary meridians, and each meridian is connected to a certain organ. And the points, as you can see in the picture, are outside of the skin, and they run to the arms and to the legs and to the face and all over the body. But they're connected inside the body, they're connected to a certain organ. So we talked about energy. And even Einstein, he said, everything is energy. Everything is energy. So energy in Chinese, it's called qi. In Japanese, it's called ki. And in Hebrew, it's called chi or chai. And chai, we know it's also alive. It means life. And Qi is the Qi is the vital energy in all living things. It is the power within that moves and protects us, and it regulates our body. Qi is a combination of energies. It comes from food, from the food we eat, from the air that we breathe, and also from inside the body, from inherited constitutions. Here is another picture of meridians that I spoke earlier. And for example, you can look at the green, the light green line. It shows the heart meridian. The heart meridian, for example, starts in the heart itself, inside the body, and it runs through the arm all the way to the pinky, to the tip of the pinky finger. That's one example. So acupuncture points are concentrations of qi, of this energy, along these meridians. I would also like to add that acupuncture is complementary medicine, and it's a very good addition to conventional Western medicine. Many years ago in China, the best Chinese doctor or acupuncturist was the one that his patients never got sick. They went to see their practitioner in order to stay healthy and in state of well-being all the time. So if they got sick, that's meaning their practitioner didn't do a good job, or if they didn't see him. So that's the story. So we're supposed to be healthy. Okay, now I'll talk a little bit about modalities of treatments. So the first one is the acupuncture itself. As I said, it's a tiny, tiny needle, just like this one, the same like in the picture. And that I tailor my treatment according to the needs of the specific needs of the person. Another modality is called moxa or moxibustion. It's a herb that we apply heat to it, like fire, but usually I don't put it on the skin, so you don't get burned from it. It just heat. It just apply heat, and it warms and nourish the acupuncture point. So it adds more energy, and it's really nice in the winter, or people that suffer from like cold, or points that need more energy and nourishment. I also add the moxa. Another modality is a cupping. Cupping is very helpful in moving blood and relieve pain. Many athletes get treated with that when they have like a muscular pain. It's really very effective to release that pain with cupping. There is also something called auricular acupuncture. There are many points just in the ear, and there are very good points there too. There is also something that is called facial acupuncture. There are some people that are expert for that. I'm not an expert for facial acupuncture, but many important acupuncture points are in the face, like many meridians start in the face, and there are very important points there. Like, for instance, the gallbladder first point is at the right next to the side of the eye. And there are many more. And it's also for aesthetics, it's also help to look younger. Now I would like to talk a little bit about 5 elements acupuncture. I studied 5 elements acupuncture. And the reason that I feel I love 5 elements acupuncture is because it's connect between the emotional body and the physical body. And according to the Chinese theory, we are made up of 5 elements, just like our Earth, our planet, from wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. And there are each element corresponds to the nature, also seasons, and to the human body, mind, and spirit. So I will give you some examples. Like right now, we are in the element of the fire because we're in the summer. Yesterday, it was the summer solstice. Solstice? I hope I pronounce it right. So it was the longest day of the year. So this element, the fire element, is connected on the body level. It connects with the meridian of the heart and the organ of the heart. It connects to the meridian of the pericard or the heart protector. And it's also connected with the small intestine. And emotionally, in the emotion level of the energetic level, it's connected with feelings of joy and happiness, and also passion for life. And also following your heart. You know, we use expressions like you follow your heart, and people that follow their heart, they're happier. And when it's not balanced, and that's what the Chinese medicine treats, it treats when it's out of balance, we bring it to the goal is to bring it back to balance. When it's not balanced, I'm talking about the fire element, we feel an anxiety, we feel sad, exactly opposite than happy. And sometimes we have heart problems like palpitation, a heart attack, broken heart. That's one example. Another example I'll give you from the wood element. I'll give you an example of a patient that I had a few years ago. And it's like very wood element, but that patient had a sciatica pain. And sciatica usually starts with the lower back. And he saw like 2 orthopedic surgeons. He got like 5 cortisone shots. He saw chiropractor, he did the PT. Nothing helped. He couldn't sit for a few months. He couldn't sit because when he was sitting, it was so painful that he couldn't sit. So he was working from standing up. And then later on, he bought a chair that you stand more than sit. And he couldn't drive. He told me when he had to drive, he had to stop the car every 10 minutes. and walk and then go back and drive another 10 minutes. It was very debilitating. So when I treated him, after a couple of treatments, I realized that the pain was on the side of the leg. And the side of the leg is the meridian of the gallbladder. And the gallbladder and the liver, as you see in this picture, are both organs and meridians that connected with the wood element. And then I asked him about anger, because that's the emotions that go with the wood element. I asked him, are you angry of someone? He said, no, I'm not angry. Are you frustrated? Anything in your life really frustrating? He said, no. And then I treated that, I put needles and I treated that meridian where the pain was to try to alleviate his pain there. And I felt like he's going to kick me because his leg was like very, like that, like very jerky like that. And I felt, oh my God, I'm afraid that he's going to kick me. So I asked him, do you feel like you want to kick someone in your life? And then he was jumping from the bed. He said, yes. And he was yelling, yes. He said, okay. And when I asked about frustration, no. Anger, no. But do you want to kick someone? Yes. So then everything came out, and I told him I'm not a therapist, I'm not qualified, but I do know about 5 elements. And he talked about somebody in his family that he felt like he wants to kick and was very upset, and he talked and yelled about it, and he let it all out. So then I asked him, in the Chinese, in the 5 elements, the balance of the wood element, the emotions, the balance of frustration and anger is benevolent or compassion, or see other options, look at other options. So I just told him that, and he was thinking of it, and he did feel compassion toward that person. And he saw options to talk about it and open it up as a family discussion. And he did that, and he called me the next day, said that we talked about it in the family, and I did open it up, and I stopped keeping it here or here. And the next week, the sciatica disappeared. So it was, I don't know, it's a miracle or it's just 5 elements. You decide. Okay, now I see that we have a little bit more time. We'll have time for questions. Before we have questions, I would like to show you 2 points, very good points, acupuncture points, that you can practice at home by yourself. And instead of a needle that it's called acupuncture, we can use our finger to apply pressure. That's called acupressure. So you can do the acupressure yourself. So one of the points is a very important, very effective point. It's called Li4. Li is large intestine meridian, and 4 is the number. Each point has a number on the meridian. So this point is very effective for constipation. It's between the web. It's here on the back of the hand. It's between the thumb and the second finger. And it's the web. There is a web, and it's right in the middle of the web. And if you apply pressure with both fingers, you feel sometimes there's some knot there. And sometimes it's a little painful. And it's funny, sometimes people that have constipation, not all the time, but many times, they also have like a really painful knot here. So if you massage it, sometimes it releases the constipation, and not only the constipation, also headaches and allergies. So it can help with many things. It's also very helpful with labor, like when women that want to deliver the baby, it helps to induce labor. That's why it's a forbidden point in during pregnancy, only during labor. Another very important point, it's called the yin tang. Also, it's called the third eye. And it's right in the middle of between the two eyebrows. And this point is amazing. It's like natural value. And the reason I think personally that it's like value, of course, it helps to reduce an anxiety, and it's really calm the mind down. But I'll tell you a story about a patient that I saw that has epilepsy. And of course, they take all the medications and everything. And one time when I treated that patient on the bed, she was lying on the bed, and in the middle of the treatment, she told me, I feel like I'm getting an attack. And I was worried, like what if she, it's a convulsions, what if she get convulsions and fall off the bed? And I was like worried. And I was thinking, when I was a doctor and something like that happened to me in the hospital, I would give 10 milligrams of Valium right to the vein. And it happened to me a few times. And then I think, but I'm licensed only as acupuncturist in America. And I can't give her IV medications, and I cannot do that. So I was thinking, I had 2 seconds to think about it before she started to have a grand mal convulsion. I was thinking, which one is the point, acupuncture point, that it's like value. So I took the needle and I put here right away, and it helped. I was so happy. She stopped the convulsion. It was amazing. So now I'll be happy to see if people have questions.
There are a few questions that I do have. Thank you. Someone did ask, is acupuncture okay for people who have breast cancer?
Yes, acupuncture can help with that. It can help with to feel better, and it can help with side effects of chemotherapy. And it can support the well-being, so it can support also the emotions and that go along with struggling with the disease. And yeah, definitely can help in a few levels. And of course, if that is specifically that person not sure, they can ask their doctor, and get like the okay from the doctor for that. But definitely it can't hurt.
Okay. The next question that we have is, can it help with arthritis in the neck? Can acupuncture help with arthritis in the neck?
Yes, definitely it can help.
And then another person asked, does it help with neuropathy?
Yes, acupuncture can help with neuropathy. It's a neuropathy. I'll say a little bit about that. I can help either with, depends what meridians the neuropathy is on. And it's also can help to bring blood, more blood, like we spoke about the circulation, more blood to the area and help to heal the nerves around there. Yeah, and usually it's, I know after shingles, many people suffer from neuropathy, like post shingles neuropathy, but it can help with any neuropathy, yes.
Thank you.
It can't hurt. The worst case scenario, it doesn't, it helps a little bit. I always ask how much the pain from 0 to 10. And some people say, it was 9 when I came to see you, but it didn't help. Said, now, how much now? Say, now it's a 5 out of, or 4 out of 10. So, wow, it's better than 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Major improvement. The next question I have is acupuncture covered by most health insurance companies?
So I'm not working with insurance. I have a small boutique, Spirit Light Acupuncture is a small boutique business, and I don't work with them with the insurance. But I also I can come to people to their house, which not many people, many practitioners do that.
So it's mostly just out of pocket?
No, it depends. There are some clinics that do work with, depends with what insurances, depends on the practitioners. Some practitioners do work with that.
Okay. And so there was just another question about if you accept insurance. And then let's see here. Swollen ankles, can acupuncture help with swollen ankles?
Yes, it can help. I had actually a patient just like on Monday that had a swollen ankle after walking a lot and after having trauma 30 years ago. So it comes and go, and it really even one treatment, 2 treatments really helped him to alleviate the pain.
Wonderful. So we have another question asking, what is the average rate and consultation time for acupuncture?
So usually my treatments are hour, or I also do 30 minutes, half an hour. And for 1 hour, I usually charge $120. And for half an hour, $70. And that's if I don't have to travel more than 20 minutes of driving. If I travel only within 20 minutes of driving, that's my rate. And it's a 1 hour or 30 minutes.
Okay, thank you. And then someone just wanted to add, anecdotally, my insurance through her employer covered some acupuncture. So she's just sharing that. Let me see here. And someone else is asking, what is your fee structure, which you kind of answered. Is there any other, can you expand on that, or is that it as far as your fee structure, what you just said?
Yeah, I mean, like, it depends. Like, if people want to have like only half an hour, then I get more done in 1 hour of treatments, but half an hour also can help.
Okay, wonderful. Someone's asking, where is your office, but we'll be happy to provide the information in the post-event email.
So I can see people in my house, in their house, or I might have an office in I'm working
Oh,
Right?
yeah, we do offer it at
Yeah,
Herschel Center. Yeah.
yes. So it's still in progress.
So someone is wanting to know, is there a certification that we need to look out for to make sure someone is truly an acupuncture professional?
Yes, I can, like, if somebody really wants to see if I'm a licensed acupuncturist, I can show it. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, actually, it's very much regulated
mhm,
um, in the United States and Maryland too. And it's under the, um, it's like a health worker license.
okay,
And
so you have to hold a licensure to
oh,
practice.
yeah. Yeah, every 2 years I have to renew the license. And I can, if somebody really wants to see, I I have a license and I can show it. And I also have liability insurance.
Mhm.
And if you're not licensed, you can't get that. And yeah, and I'm sure.
Okay, thank you. And so if someone else is asking, how many sessions are normally needed before you experience some relief?
That's a great question. Usually, what we learned at school to say between 6 and 8.
Okay.
But I don't like to string people along, and I say even five times. If after 5 times you don't see any, even 4 times, if you don't see any help or any like any benefits for you, then I don't want to waste the time for both or waste your money.
Mhm.
And but sometimes there are miracles, and even after 1 or 2 sessions, people feel much better. Yeah, but then they had to continue to feel more, more to
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
Okay, great. So, and there's another question. Do people feel immediate results or do they come over time? You kind of answer that about 6 sessions.
Yeah,
Um,
sometimes people feel immediate results.
mhm,
Yeah, sometimes it happens. It happened to me a few times. Like the guy that was almost with the back problems, that was like a week away from like a surgery,
mhm.
and it was like a miracle. Yeah, and sometimes, yeah, and then many times people, like, I'll give you an example. I had in the past month, I had a patient with hip pain,
Mhm.
and it was not exactly it was in the it was like a bursitis. The orthopedic surgeon diagnosed her with bursitis in the hip joint, and he gave her a shot of cortisone. And she asked him, how long should I wait until the cortisone shot helps? And he told her up to 10 days. So she was waiting 10 days. And on the 11th day, she called me because it didn't help. And the first treatment, she felt a little bit of relief. Like from pain of 8 out of 10, it became 6 out of 10. Then the second time, it became 4 out of 10. And she could do more movements. Like at the beginning, she couldn't walk her dog. After 2 sessions, she could walk her dog. And after 3 sessions, she felt much better, like almost no pain, like 1 out of 10. So sometimes it's like that.
It's wonderful. So there's a question, a really good question. How would you encourage or motivate older adults to try acupuncture? Many older individuals sometimes can be a little skeptical of treatments that are new to them.
Oh, that's a beautiful question. So that's why I made the speech. So they can try one time and see what happens. And if it's not what, we don't, and feel, not think, feel,
Mhm.
and see if they like it, and um, just give it a chance. And there's nothing to lose, because it's not like I'm not like a surgeon, right? I was many years ago. It's not like I'm a surgeon that telling you, oh, come and have a surgery. And surgeries have a lot of, might have a lot of complications. With this, there are no complications. In a worst case scenario, if somebody, I've liability if this can hurt someone, but it doesn't. It never hurt someone. Never hurt. And I never heard of somebody that got hurt from that. And there is no complications. There are no complications from this kind of, and it's all energy. So it's a more energetic medicine.
Mhm.
And it helps. It helped 3,000 years ago and 2000, and even today it helps. And if somebody doesn't, it's always, I think my parents always taught me to try something, especially if it's not going to hurt me. And you try something new and you say, oh, wow, it really helps. I like it. Or say, I didn't like it. Thank you. At least I tried it.
Well, so I see that we're running out of time. We're at 1:59 here. And we still have more questions. Do you have a few more minutes to maybe answer maybe one or two more, or?
Sure. I'll be happy.
Someone is asking if you have any advice for those seeking to train in acupuncture,
Advice for people who train?
who are interested in, becoming an acupuncturist.
Oh, yeah. It's personally, when I studied acupuncture, it was like a very healing for me. Just even the studies of the 5 elements, I went through a very profound healing myself. Like if earlier we talked about the fire element and following your heart, I realized and it was like almost the middle of my life when I studied, because as you know, what I lived most of my life in Israel, and then I moved there and I studied it. And I realized that I didn't follow my heart most of my life. And it was very shocking. I followed like a certain way of life that I was supposed to. And my parents told me, you should do this or you should do that. And I was like a good girl. And I always did what my parents or my grandparents told me that I should do. And then only when I studied the 5 elements, I realized, wait a minute, I didn't ask myself what's my passion, what I want to do, and what I love. And that's a very fire element. It's good. It's the summer. And I realized I learned things about my soul and my spirit. That's why I called it spirit light acupuncture. And I like it was very, a revelation for me. Like, wow, I listened to other people and I never listened to my heart and myself. And it was like, wow, it was very shocking. And I worked around that, and I did a lot of healing myself around that. And even some diseases that I had, I cured, where they got cured because of that. Yeah. So I've experience on my own body. Yeah.
Well, I know there's more questions, but you do have your contact information right here, so everybody can see that. I want to be mindful of your time and everyone else's. So we could wrap it up. I just want to say, Orna, thank you so much
Thank you
for
very much.
a wonderful presentation.
Thank you very much.
And again, everyone who does need or is requesting a CEU, there'll be a link emailed where you can request that. And again, if you can see right here, here's Miss Orna's information and contact information. Again, everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. And Orna, thank you so much for a very insightful presentation. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.